Assalamu alaikum. We were today our guest allama hafiz gull mohammed with us. Uh, Hafsab, I want to ask a simple question. What is interfaith? What does it mean?
Interfaith is people of different faiths, people of different views coming together and being able to live alongside one another, being able to respect the differences of one another, being able to appreciate somebody else's belief and allowing them to have their own beliefs. And I think this is central to interfaith, that I may not necessarily believe something that somebody else believes, but I won't be offended by it. And interfaith is that you don't force your views on somebody else. And certainly Islam is very pro-interfaith. Lakum dinukum waliya din. You are free to practice your religion and I am free to practice mine. So this is really what interfaith is. Muslim, this is not a concept which is alien to Muslims in any way. There historically has never been a moment where Muslims have lived just solely as a Muslim community. Muslims have either always been under the rule of non-Muslims, or they have always had non-Muslims under their rule. So interfaith has been very, very central to Islam, and it's something that we've always been part of.
Hafsab, why interfaith dialogue doesn't work?
I think, I don't know if it's true to say that interfaith dialogue doesn't work. I think there are cases where interfaith dialogue works quite effectively. But one of the reasons perhaps it doesn't work as effectively as it should is because people are scared to ask the really tough questions. Because we live in a world which is politically correct, and people are scared of offending others. So they won't ask a question which really concerns them out of fear that they will offend. And so really when we meet in interfaith meetings, we often just discuss what is nice, but that doesn't resolve our situation. We will only resolve it when we discuss the challenges, and the challenges means talking about ugly things in your society and in your community. I don't know if people are ready for that.
So why the interfaith dialogues are important for the world peace?
Interfaith dialogue, it shows and paves the ways for people. If we take ourselves as an example, we arrived here as economic migrants. We were very closed as a community. We had no reason to invite anybody else in, and therefore we never really interacted with the wider community. Ever since times have become tough, we've actually realized that we need to communicate with our neighbors. You don't live in a world where you have somebody who's going to have the same viewpoints as you living next door. You don't. So we need to be grown up and mature enough. Those people who can't be, who are not strong enough to talk about interfaith, is because they suffer insecurities of their own faith. We have no insecurities. If you're firm on Iman, you'll be quite happy to talk to anybody about their faith because you don't really fear losing yours. But I think it's incredibly important in this day and age for people to sit down to discuss the really, really tough issues that nobody really wants to talk about.
My final question is, how can we build a good relationship between diverse community and different faiths?
I think as a Muslim, it's important that we make the first approach. If people are not already approaching the masajid, maybe it becomes our job. And I'm gonna put myself out there and say, there's a lot of people who put up stands about religion in the middle of town. We don't do that, and I often wonder why we don't. Because I think we've got an excellent selling point. We've got a beautiful religion. We've got a beautiful presentation of that religion, and I think we should take that and export that to the people and introduce that to the people. And at the same time, we can hear what other people's viewpoints are. But in this day and age, especially in the day and age where that we live in, where Islamophobia is on the rise, where people are facing difficulties, the acid attacks through London, the attacks on those people who symbolically are Muslims, Muslim women, for example, in headscarves. These attacks are not going to be curbed, and they're not going to be reduced unless we actually start addressing these issues and start talking about them.
Thank you so much, Allama Hafiz Gul Mohammed. Audience, keep watching WNTV. Thank you so much.